So welcome everyone to the Spring 2024 College Essentials Q&A webinar. We are so excited to have you here with us this morning and to welcome you to the Algonquin College community. My name is Samantha and I will be hosting this webinar today. So before we get started, I'm just going to go through a couple of housekeeping items. So this webinar is being recorded and it will be available to watch on the AC Hub on-demand webpage in the coming days. And we'll share a link to that webpage for your reference in the chat now. This webinar is equipped with closed captioning if you need it. To enable closed captioning, just select the CC icon along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. And we encourage you to engage with your college community throughout this event today, which you're already doing a fabulous job of doing. So please, if you have anything that you would like to share, you can post it into the chat tab, which is located along the right side of your Zoom screen. However, when you are posting in the chat, please refrain from posting any personal information, such as your address, your student ID number, any of that kind of information. But we would love for you to engage in the chat and make some friends today. So please do so. If you have any questions, though, we encourage you to please post them into the Q&A tab. So the Q&A tab is different from the chat. You can find the Q&A along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. It says Q&A down there. You just select that tab and it'll pop open a little box and you can type your questions into that tab. And we do encourage you to ask a lot of questions. We want you to get everything that you are curious about answered today. So again, if you have a question, post it into the Q&A. And then we will go throughout the webinar, we will pause and take questions. And also at the very end, we will answer most of your questions. We'll try and get through all of them today. And again, when you are asking a question, please refrain from asking very specific things and anything that includes personal details, such as your student ID number, your home address, your phone number, any of that kind of stuff. All right, folks, so now with that out of the way, let's quickly take a look at the agenda before I hand it over to our college experts. So as you can see, after every few presentations, we will pause to answer some of the questions that you're asking out loud live. And then once all of the presentations have been completed, we're going to open up the floor at the very end for more questions. And please remember to post all of your questions into the Q&A tab and not the chat. All right, everyone. So now I'm going to introduce our first college experts. But before I do so, I just wanted to mention that we do also have, we're going to hand it over to Amy from the registrar's office, but also here today is Jessica from PLAR and Credit Transfer. So if you have any questions specific to those programs, PLAR or Credit Transfer, you can also post them into the Q&A tab for Jessica and she will answer them for you. But now I would like to hand over the floor to Amy from the registrar's office. Amy, take it over.
Hi, everyone. I'm from the registrar's office and I'm here with Brandon today as well. We're enrollment service representatives. I think Brandon's going to get started with the first slide. If you wanted to flip ahead to the next slide. Thank you.
Perfect. So we're going to talk to you today about Axis. It's your student portal. It's your go-to for really everything with the college. So yeah, we're just going to explain what you can do on Axis and show you how to do everything. Next slide.
Okay, so first up, each semester you will have to defer your fees. So your tuition will be due, and if you'd prefer to defer your fees until the latest date that you can pay, you have to go on and do that on your Axis account. Okay, so as you can see here, oh. You'll log into your Axis account, and along the left side of the page, there is a menu under fees and payments. There's an option to defer your fees, and you click that, follow the steps through, and that's how you can defer your fees for that term. Okay, next slide.
So this is the view timetable tab. This will, you'll be able to view your timetable for the upcoming semester. You can check the academic calendar and important dates to see when your timetable will be available for you. Just make sure to change the date to when the semester actually starts, so you'll see where all your classes are. Next slide, please.
Okay, so you can also on Axis switch up your timetable by all on your own, okay, by using the drop add transfer feature. Okay, so This allows you to transfer to different sections. You can drop a course or add in an additional course. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you.
So this is how you print your payment receipts. There's a print payments receipts tab. Essentially you can just go in there and any of the payments you've made to the college, you have access to in a PDF format, so you could save it and print it for proof of payment. Next slide, please.
Okay, so this is another option to print letters. So it says students often require letters for proof of graduation, enrollment, and fees. So you can do this yourself. It's really convenient. You just go to the print letters option in your Access account, and you can, excuse me, choose from a drop-down menu which letter you need, whether it's a graduation letter, an enrollment letter, or a fee breakdown letter. And you can download this yourself and have that right away to print. Okay, next slide, please.
So this is the resetting your Access password page. So you could see on the login page, right below password, there's a button that says forgot your password. In there, you can go in and reset your password just in case you forgot. You would reset using the security question that you would have answered when you created your account. If you're having any issues with with resetting your password, you can always feel free to come into the registrar's office or call the registrar's office and we can reset it over the phone as well. Next slide, please.
Sorry that we're a little glitchy here. Okay, so we also always require the students' most up-to-date information. So you can update everything yourself by going into the profile option and then making sure that your address, phone number, everything is up to date. This is really important because anything that is sent from the college will go to the address that we have on your account. So making sure that that is up to date is really important to do. Okay, next slide, please.
So this is the transfer of credit / exemption button. In there, that's where you will apply. You would apply for credit exemptions or transfers for courses you've done in the past, whether that's with Algonquin or with an additional or an external post-secondary institution. And Jessica will be able to talk to you guys later about that as well. Next slide, please.
Okay, so this is just a link that will take you to how to on a lot of the things that we just covered on Access. So little video tutorials on how to defer your fees, how to change your timetable, and all the things that we just highlighted. Next slide, please. Thank you.
And then here are just some other resources that you should check out before you start. Just link to your Access account so you can sign in. The academic calendar, it has a lot of important dates that you'll want to know. And then the registrar's office contact information to reach us through the phone or through email. Next slide, please.
Okay, that was great. Thank you so much, Amy and Brendan.
Yeah.
So folks, I just would like to remind you, I'm seeing a lot of questions come in the chat. So I'm so happy you're asking questions, but just please make sure to post them into the Q&A just so we don't get missed. Because the chat does move quite quickly. So please post them into the Q&A tab and you can find the Q&A along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. All right, everyone. So let's move on to our next college expert, Gary from ITS.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gary, and I'm from the ITS at Algonquin College. A part of what we do is to make your transition to college a bit easier. We are here to support students for password resets, software installs, Wi-Fi, printer, laptop and software troubleshoot, and much more. Next slide, please. One of the most important things you will find throughout your time at Algonquin College is your network account. You'll be able to find your network account on Access once you have completed your registration. To sign in on Access, you will need to enter your student number and your date of birth. You will then need to create a new PIN and a security question. For returning students who forgot their PIN, you will need to give us a call or come in person to reset your PIN. After signing into Access, look for your network account info under the account on top left-hand side of the page, and you'll find the user ID, initial password, and email address. Next slide, please. Once you have your network account credentials, you'll be able to use many services such as email, AC Secure Wi-Fi, and Brightspace. When you are trying to sign into any of the Algonquin accounts, including Wi-Fi, please make sure to read whether they're asking for an email address or a username. If it is asking for a username, just enter the first part of your email. Next slide, please. Apps Anywhere is a software delivery application where you will have access to all the softwares you need for your courses. You will be able to use the app from anywhere at any time for both Windows and Mac users without having to install the software. Next slide, please. For students who will be learning from home, we have some resources here to make learning from home an easier adjustment. Please visit our knowledge base where we put together answers to some of your most frequently asked questions. Next slide, please. Lastly, our hours of operations are from Monday to Friday at 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Please feel free to give us a call, send us an email, or come in person for any technical issues you may have. We are located in the basement of Building C, and we're happy to be able to help support your needs. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much, Gary. So, folks, we're now going to take a quick pause just to answer some of your questions that have come in through the chat. We're getting a lot of questions, so I'm so happy that you're all very curious about all this information. So let's start with a couple of questions for the registrar's office. So, Amy and Brandon, I'm going to ask for your help with these. So the first one here is, where can I see the deadlines for the fees that we have to pay for each term? For example, what is the fee payment date for the fall semester?
Yeah, so you can always check on the academic calendar and you just select the semester you're inquiring about. So for this example, you would click fall 2024, and you would see that the tuition deposit is due on June 15th. Once you pay that, the rest of the fees won't be due until generally around 3 weeks after the start of the semester, but it will have the official dates all on the academic calendar page.
Great, thank you, Brandon. And Brandon, can you just quickly tell us what the fees, what the deadline for paying your fees for this semester are?
So the tuition deposit would have already been due generally around April 1st. That's if you're you had an acceptance before then. If you're a late applicant, it's generally a few days after you've been accepted. But the date to pay the remainder balance for the spring semester is May 27th.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right. So again, Amy and Brandon, this one is for you. So my course in the first semester is hybrid. Does that mean half of my semester will be online and the other will be offline?
Yeah, so the hybrid ones, it's always best to contact the professor and program coordinator just to confirm. A lot of times the courses have online aspects of the course, so it will be an in-person course, but with some online activities to do throughout the week. As long as you go to your timetable, it'll show you a room number. If the room number just says virtual, that means it's completely online at that set time. But if you go and you see a room number, that means it's important to go to the class, and there may just be an online component of the class as well.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Brandon. And then lastly, this one is maybe more for Jessica from Plar and Credit Transfer, but it's just asking, I'm just wondering which office I should talk to if I need to transfer any of my previous credits from previous education. So which office should they go to speak to about that?
Hi, I shared in the chat the link to the web page that gives all the information, and there is an option to book a meeting with an advisor if you would like to, but there isn't a specific area. It's all done through your Access account. So in that area where Amy and Brandon were showing about the transfer of credit / exemption in your Access account is how you apply. And the page that I linked has all the details with a little video as well, explaining how to do that. If there's any questions, they can book a session with me.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Jessica. And thank you, Amy and Brandon, as well, for answering those. So Gary, we're going to move on to you now from ITS. So Gary, this one is about the Bring Your Own Device program. Can you just quickly tell us what that is and how students would know if they should bring their own device for their program?
So the Bring Your Own Device program is basically any programs that requires you to have your own laptop. And if you want to know the specific specifications for which laptop you need, we have a link. We can post it in the chat later. And now you can look for your specific program. And then once you click on that program, you can see all the specifications on the laptops that is required in your program.
Okay, thank you very much, Gary. And Gary, one more thing. So if a student is having trouble accessing any of their software, so their student email account or Brightspace or any of that, just any general tech issues, how would they go about contacting you? Can they drop in on campus? Do they have to email? Can you tell us a little bit about the process of getting in contact with ITS?
Yes, so there are multiple ways for you to contact us. You can send us an email at 5555@algonquincollege.com. You can give us a call with our extension 5555, and you can also come in person. We are located in the basement of Building C, so any of those methods would work. If we need to talk to you in person for such things such as confirming your identity, we will let you know, and then you either have to give us a call and start a Zoom session so that we can see your ID if you're living very far away, or you might have to come in person so that we can verify you that way.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Gary. All right, everyone. So we're going to move on now to our next college expert. So folks, I am now going to hand over the floor to Sue from the International Education Center. Sue, over to you.
Thanks, Samantha, and welcome to all our international students that are here joining us this morning from either here in Canada or around the world. We're happy that you've been able to join us, and just know that the IEC, the International Education Center, is here to help you, support you through your journey from the beginning of your studies all the way to when you graduate from Algonquin. So just some of the ways that you can contact us. We do have a website. We are on social media, so please follow us on our social media channels. And we're happy to see that so many people are here this morning. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to go through some of the support services that we offer to incoming international students. Some of you might already have taken advantage of our arrival services to pick you up at the airport and help you get settled in. We give you guidance and advice on your study and work permits. So any questions that you have related to your IRCC documents. We offer a wide variety of workshops throughout the semester, and we have resources that we give to the students. We also do an international student orientation, which I'll talk a little bit later. We have resources related to IRCC, Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada. We also provide you the mandatory GuardMe health insurance that I'll talk about in another slide, and then assist you with some program possible withdrawal changes at the beginning of the term if you're looking to switch. One thing I'll just mention is I'm sure many of the international students are aware of that the government recently changed some of the rules and regulations. So if you are a brand new incoming international student requiring the new provincial attestation letter, you need to request those from our international admissions team. My colleague Sonia, that's here with me, is going to post in the chat the link to the website, but just be patient because we are working on this brand new process. So it is sort of a 1 to 2 week turnaround time to get those letters. So we just thank you for your patience while we work through this new process that the government has introduced to us. Next slide, please. So along with some of those supports, we also will provide you with peer tutoring, which if you find that you're struggling in a course, we will offer some support, some free hours of peer tutoring. We run a really great international peer mentorship program, which is our upper level international students that are there to guide and assist our new incoming international students. So you'll start to receive information about that, and please take advantage of that and meet with some of your fellow international students that have already been here for a couple of semesters. And then again, we run social and cultural events, workshops, as I mentioned, related to financial literacy, job search. We run social insurance clinics, which those will be up and running for the first 2 to 3 weeks beginning of the semester. No need to book an appointment for those sessions. You just come between 9 and 3 in the afternoon. You do need to bring your passport with you and also your original study permit that gives you the authorization to work. So next slide, please. So I'd just like to briefly mention to talk about this wonderful app. We have iSent, which is an app that if you have not already done so, we strongly suggest that you download this to your smartphone. It's a great resource that we have. So if we need to get a hold of students quickly or send you a message, we can do push notifications. Every 2 weeks, you will receive a newsletter from our office. So it's just a great resource tool that's at your fingertips 24/7. So if you have not already done that, please go ahead and download the iSent app. Next slide. So in the International Education Center, we do have 5 international student advisor. Sonia and myself are 2 of the 5 advisors. Any of the advisors were here to give you guidance and advice related to your IRCC documents, your work permit, study permit, graduating TRVs. So you can book an appointment with us either virtually or we do face-to-face appointments. And we also once a week do drop-in sessions. So if you just had a quick question, please pop in and come and meet with one of the advisors. Next slide. So our upcoming international orientations, the ones for if you're starting in an academic program, those are offered virtually. So if you have not already done so, please register for one of the 2 academic sessions. So you can either come in the morning on April 30th or May 1st, there's a session in the afternoon for 2 hours. So this is where we're going to dive more in depth in regards to your health insurance, and we'll have a few other people that will be there presenting on various topics that you need to know and be aware of as international students here studying in Canada. If you are an international student starting the English for Academic Purpose program, that's similar to an ESL program, that orientation is May 2nd, and it is an in-person session in B building, B457. So we hope to see you at our orientations. Next slide. And again, as I mentioned, we do have the GuardMe health insurance, which is automatic for all international students. You do not need to enroll in this health insurance plan. You will receive an email from GuardMe. Normally, it's the first week of classes, with an email that you have to sort of set up and register your account with GuardMe. And then once you've done that, you will have a digital health insurance card that shows that you have the proof of your health insurance. Now, it is a health insurance plan, medical plan, not a dental plan. So if you'd like to purchase possibly additional dental assurance, you could also arrange that through the Students Association, which I'm sure their rep will talk a little bit about that in one of their slides. Next slide. So this is just again regarding the free peer tutoring. So again, if you're struggling, find you're struggling in a course, like let's say you have a math course that you're really having difficulty, send us a letter request and we will hook you up with 10 hours of free peer tutoring, and that will connect you with a student in that same program that will be able to help you with your studies. Next slide. So some of you might have already started to attend some of our Succeed in Canada workshop series. We have done those throughout the month of April. So there is a course as well that you should see inside your Brightspace that has modules that you can work along at your own pace, and it has again lots of in-depth information regarding to life in Canada, housing, tips for academic success, and financial literacy. So if you have a chance, try to work on that before you get up and running in your classes and don't have too much time to focus on those courses. Next slide. So the IEC also runs lots of great activities and events. We do have an events calendar, and as I mentioned, you can also connect to the events through your iSent app, which you'd have at your phone. There are some sessions, most of the sessions you have to register for, and there might be a minimal fee, but a lot of the webinars and series and events that we run are free. So I believe that's my last slide. Just the next slide. I just want to thank you for taking the time to coming here today to get onto your road to success as an international student here in Algonquin. And again, these are some of the ways that you can get in touch with us either through social media, website, or via email.
Thank you, Sue. All right, everyone. So I know we have a lot of questions for Sue and the international students. So folks, today we won't be able to get into too deep of things regarding international students. However, you have to attend one of those international student orientations. Those are very, very important to getting you set up before the first day of college. So please make sure to register for one of those sessions where you can go way more in depth about all things international students and coming to the college. But we will answer a couple of questions now. So Sue, these ones are for you. So the first one here, Sue, is what if you are starting in May and have not gotten your attestation letter yet? Who can I meet with or what should I do?
So if, and just maybe a couple of things, if you're a new international student and you're already currently here in Canada and you had a study permit, maybe you're transitioning from another institution, you do not need a provincial attestation letter. So I would suggest you connect with, possibly one of the international student advisors, and we can sort of guide you in that process. It's my understanding that if you're a new international student for the spring semester and you do require the PAL, it might be too late for you to start the May semester and you might be deferred to the fall. So in that case, I would strongly suggest that you either connect with the international admissions team, either through your application portal, or if perhaps you have an agency that's working with you, you connect with them right away to to try to get things resolved.
Okay, thank you very much, Sue. Another question for you, Sue, is what about issues with visas? What should a student do if they have an issue with their visa?
So I guess first of all, it just kind of depends on what kind of issue that they're referring to, whether you're referring to study permit, work permit, TRV, or if you had unfortunately a visa rejection. If you're brand new, always start with posting a message in your application portal, because then the international admissions teams can, triage that to the appropriate person. And if they do require assistance from our team, they will reach out directly to one of us.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Sue. And
Thanks,
folks,
Samantha.
thank you, Sue. And just to reiterate, folks, please make sure if you're an international student, attend one of those international student orientations. They go way more in depth about all of this information. We have a really, really great international team here to support you. So there are tons of resources, tons of things and people to help you when you're coming to Canada. So please reach out and please attend one of those orientation sessions where they will get way more in depth about all of this information. So everyone, let's move on to our next college expert. Next, we are going to move on to David from Campus Services. David, over to you.
Hey everybody, good morning. My name is David Hall. I'm the Manager of Marketing and Communications of Campus Services here at Algonquin College and a proud Algonquin College graduate myself. So welcome today. Glad you're on the call with us. And now I'm going to take you through a few of the areas that when you get to campus, you're going to use almost every day. Some of the things that really help make campus tick during your time here. So let's get on with my first slide. There's a ton of services at Algonquin College, but the ones I'm specifically speaking about this morning are on the screen. So food services, that's pretty self-explanatory. Our retail services, so this one's really important, especially right now. So you're probably curious about how do I get the correct books for my program? Well, we can help you out with that. So every student has a customized list of course materials or books that are required. We'll get into that in just a little bit in my presentation. I'll tell you a little bit about our print services and our print team and all that sort of stuff. And then our parking, card, lockers, services, that's part of our group as well. And if you're living in residence, I might say a few words about that. So next slide, please. So card services. Now, you might be, you're likely eager to get started with your journey here at Algonquin College. And one of the first things you can do is get the process of obtaining your student card and your U-Pass. And that's your transit pass here in Ottawa. And you can do that today. So you can visit our website. It's acphoto.algonquincollege.com. And my colleague, Laura, will put it in the chat momentarily if it's not done already. And the first step to this is uploading your photo so we can produce these cards. And so you'll get 2 cards when you arrive here on campus. You'll get your student card, which is great for accessing a number of things on campus. If you live in residence, it's the key to your door. If you have a meal plan, it's the key to your food. And sometimes if you're in a high-tech program, it's the key to the labs and the facilities across campus. So it's a great thing to have on you at all times when you're at Algonquin College. And if you're eligible, you'll also get yourself a U-Pass. So this is the blue one that you see on the screen. And that enables you to unlimited ridership during the terms you are here at Algonquin to all of the buses, the city buses in Ottawa, the light rail transit in Ottawa, and also if you're not familiar with our geography, we are just right across the river from Quebec, another city, and they have a transit system. And guess what? You can use the transit there as well with this one pass. So it's a very valuable pass, but start today. You can visit the URLs that are on the screen. You can Google it. You can go into your email because we've emailed about it and get that process started today. Next slide, please. So on the right, you'll see a number of the food options we have here on campus. And throughout the year, we have 10 different food service locations here across campus. You're never far from your next snack. So think about anything from a coffee and maybe a muffin in the morning to a salad bar lunch in the middle of the day. Or if you're here on campus in the evening, we have full We have full service meals as well. You'll see on the screen that our Marketplace Food Court, our Fix Eatery, our Tim Hortons, and our Booster Juice are planned to be open during the spring term. And now if you're with us in the fall as well, you'll see the last ones there on the list. The final three will be opening as well. So there's always a ton of food on campus. And now if you have dietary restrictions or preferences, we have a registered dietitian on staff that can help you curate the best eating options that you might need for your particular situation here on campus. So it's delicious at Algonquin College. Next slide. Okay, so this is another thing that you can do right away, and that is get a sense of what course materials you will need for your program. Mostly that's books, but it can be equipment as well. And then you can order them directly from our store today. And then when you arrive on campus, you visit our click and collect area right beside our campus store, and they will give you everything you need for your semester. It's as easy as that. So one thing we've really focused on this year with our course materials is trying to make them as affordable as possible for our students. So when you are visiting what we call our book list, and the link is on the screen and in the chat, your book list tells you what materials you need, but it also allows you to purchase them immediately. And our prices at the campus store are direct from publisher prices for our print materials, and they could be even less expensive if you buy the digital copy, if that's your choice, right? And then we also, that you'd find here in our campus store that you wouldn't find elsewhere, are used book options. So that's really three ways to save. We offer the direct publisher price. We offer digital resources, which are often cheaper through us because we're a post-secondary institution. And then also used books. But step one is visiting that link. We call it Book List. You'll see QR codes all across campus that invites you to get your book list. All of your resources are there. The option to purchase is there. Very simple. And another thing that you can sleep well at night is you know you're getting the correct version, because we're the only bookstore that works directly with our faculty members to make sure that we get the exact book, the exact resource, the correct edition, and like I said, at a very competitive price. So this helps take some of the stress of a new school and a new semester out for our students. So next slide, please. When you're here, this will become more important, but all of our students get what we call a print balance, which is a credit on their student card you see on the screen there, where they can print from our variety of well over 100 printers on campus. After you install the drivers on your phone or your laptop, you send a print job to our printers, and then you tap the card that you see on the printer and your print job spits out. So it's an $11 print balance. Some use a little more, some use a little less, but generally that's a good amount per semester. And this will be loaded on your card this weekend. So when you arrive, it's as easy as clicking print, tapping on the machine, and then you'll be able to print right here on campus. But for those larger jobs, maybe you're in a creative program and you have a portfolio to produce, you'll see the very bottom link here, algonquincollege.com/print shop. We have a full service print shop on campus who can help you with any of your variety of printing needs beyond just a 8.5 by 11 print job that might come out of those printers. So maybe to the next slide. For those of you who will drive to campus, who choose to drive, we have parking rates from every half an hour to the full year. Laura has just put the link to our parking services in the chat. So take a look there, and you're really going to want to look at your timetable, see how many days you are on campus, and then make the choice of what's the best way, most cost-effective way for you to get to campus. The more expensive the parking is, often the closer it is to the main heart of campus. But really, this is a personal choice. We do have a lot of parking on campus, but it does fill up. We have 20,000 students throughout the year, so you might want to evaluate and make that choice. But if we go to the next slide, I'll tell you about something else, which is alternate ways to get to campus. So if driving is not for you or parking is not for you, we have over 700 bike parking spaces on campus. We have 3 bike repair machines throughout campus as well, which helps you get around with a bike. I already mentioned the UPass as well. So there's lots of great options. And if you're new to the city, we are at the stop called Baseline Station, and that's right on the rapid transit network in Ottawa. And then one more slide. Locker rentals. So locker rentals are very cost effective here at Algonquin. You go to algonquincollege.com/lockers. You can rent a locker for summer, for fall, even through the next winter. If you're here for 3 semesters in a row, it's only $21 for the entire term. So if you're looking for lockers, they've been filling up fast over the last few weeks. So today's a good day to pop in there. Go to algonquincollege.com/lockers, and you should be able to find your locker. If you don't know what building you'll be in, again, take a peek at your timetable. It will tell you what building you're in, and then you can make the selection through our interface here. And then the last slide. So that's it for us today. We do want to get in touch with you. We want you to get in touch with us. The QR code you see on the screen right now will add you to our mailing list. So you're the first to know when we have promotions and sales and deals. Just last semester, we sent a mailing to this list of 70% off at the campus store at that time of year. So that's how you keep in the know. Check out our social media as well. And we look forward to seeing you on campus in not too long. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Next up, we're going to have Kelsey from Academic Success.
Thanks, Sam. So I'll just ask that we go to the first slide. So there are so many people and supports available to you during your studies at Algonquin College. Each role has a different focus on the different types of questions they can answer. I'll go through some of them now, and as I'm going through the slides, my colleague Shannon will be posting links in the chat that will help you access the resources mentioned in each slide. Next slide, please. So specifically, I will describe the roles of your academic advisor, your student success specialist, your program coordinator, and the student integration officers. Next slide. Your program coordinator is a faculty member in your program and can help with any program-related questions. For example, if you drop a course and you need to understand how that might impact your program moving forward, they would be the best person to connect with. Next slide. Your student success specialist, or SSS, is there to help identify services that might be useful to you and help connect you with them. If you need some extra support or you're facing some challenges in your studies, reach out to your SSS, who can provide you with resources and referrals that will assist you in your learning success. Next slide. Your academic advisor is usually a faculty member in your program and a subject matter expert in your field. They can help you decide on academic goals, make a plan to achieve your goals, and discuss your options after graduation. If you have questions about a career in the field you're studying, your academic advisor is a great resource to go to. Next slide. Student integration officers, or SIOs, can help with a variety of questions and refer you to the right department if you're not sure where to turn. You can drop by our office in room C037, or you can submit your questions online. We'll put them in the chat. Next slide, please. You may have noticed a course called AC Cafe in your Brightspace account. You can self-enroll in this course where you'll access lots of information and activities that will help you prepare for the start of classes. While we call it a course, it's not graded. It's just an opportunity for you to find out some information about Algonquin before you start your semester. Next slide. The different modules in the AC Cafe address a variety of topics such as Algonquin technology, understanding your timetable, navigating the Ottawa campus, and much more. Next slide. Program orientation. So program orientation is an opportunity for level 1 learners to learn more about your classes, ask any questions that you might have about your program, and meet your professors and classmates. Most regularly scheduled classes are suspended on May 6th for level 1 students. So regular schedule begins on May 7th. This gives you all day to participate in AC Day 1 and attend your program orientation. Your program coordinator will contact you with specific details about when your orientation session will occur. You can also check out the program orientation webpage closer to AC Day 1 for more details. And we'll put the link in the chat. Next slide. So thank you very much. And for more information, you can visit our website, which we'll put in the chat, or you can email academicsuccess@algonquincollege.com.
Thank you, Kelsey. So next up, everyone, we're gonna hand it over to Shalina from Health Services.
Hi, everyone. So I'm from Health Services, and I'm just going to go over a quick little summary about how to access health services and also talking about the Student Health and Wellness Zone. So next slide, please. So this is just kind of where the health services is. It's on the first floor of C building, and it's open Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. Next slide, please. So this kind of gives you a quick summary about who's available at health services for you. So there's doctors, nurses, mental health nurse, psychiatry clinic partnered with the Royal Ottawa Mental Health Hospital. And then, like I mentioned, we do have a partnership with the Student Health and Wellness team as well. So next slide, please. So our services range in a few different categories. So we have urgent care, general health, medical labs, mental health, and health and wellness team. So any need that could be going on, they're there to be able to support you. Most of the time too, they do have a walk-in clinic as well. And those are during the regular times of operation from 8:30 to 4:30. I will say it is better to get there earlier than later so you can get a spot in the drop-in, like the walk-in clinic. And they deal with more acute problems rather than chronic problems at the walk-in clinic as well. What else in this page here that's important to note? Another thing to mention is if anybody has programs that require a placement, the nurses and the doctors there are really equipped with filling out paramed paperwork. So, and as well as getting you up to date for any immunizations that need to be done for your said placement, such as like your TB test, tetanus shot, or any other things like that. Next slide, please. So this is just kind of how to access it. So you can register as a new patient through algonquincollege.com/health-services, and you would just put in all of your information to become a new patient. Once that has happened, then you can either call or go in person to book your appointment. And GuardMe insurance is also covered with there. So it's just important to note to bring that. And then if you are a Ontario resident, to bring your OHIP card with you and your student card as well. And next slide, please. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Student Health and Wellness team and kind of what that's about. Next slide, please. So we focus on Student Health and Wellness team focuses on a few different pillars of health. They focus on general health, mental health, sleep hygiene, fitness and nutrition, harm reduction and substance use, and sexual health. So all of these pillars of health are focused towards students, as it's important to highlight these things. So the Student Health and Wellness team will have student health promoters that will be around campus talking about these subjects. There's a few initiatives here on campus that do highlight them, such as Project Lighthouse, which is about sexual health and sexual violence prevention. Umbrella Project is about the safe use of substances and alcohol and the harm reduction aspect. And then the Student Health and Wellness Zone is located up on in E building on the 3rd floor. It's in a new room now, E350, and they are peer support workers. We do also have a new website. Feel free to check that out as well. I'll add the link in there once I'm done talking. Next slide, please. So another initiative that we have at the Student Health and Wellness Zone is the AC Purple Couch, which is also linked with health services. So the AC Purple Couch is a mental health initiative. And if you see this purple couch out and about around campus, usually trained students are with this couch. You can take a seat on this couch and talk about anything that's going on in your mind, mental health related or anything at all. And they're there to be able to support you in that moment. Next slide, please. So this is just an example of one of the groups that we were running during this past semester, and it's Time for You Self-Care. We are having a little bit of change and remodel of the space of the Health and Wellness Zone. So some of the groups that I'll be highlighting may not be happening in the spring summer term, but will be resuming in the fall. So Time for You Self-Care was just an opportunity for an hour to learn about different self-care options and skills and tools to be able to put in your toolkit. Next slide, please. So Find Your Inner Self Mindfulness Hour was a collaboration with the Spiritual Center. And this was just an hour of meditation. And it was just a nice hour to just kind of de-stress and take a pause from school. Next slide, please. And then another thing to note is that Algonquin College is a smoke-free campus. So we would appreciate it if you do not smoke on campus. That goes for cigarettes, e-vapes, anything like that. Just smoke-free campus. And next slide, please. And so that's basically it. These are some of the ways that you can contact just to gain a little bit more information. And thank you so much for listening.
All right, thank you very much, Shalina. So everyone, we're going to take a moment here just to pause and answer some questions from the past couple of presentations. So we're going to go all the way back and start with David from Campus Services. So David, the next couple of questions are for you. So the first one here is about parking. Is there an option to pay once and then use that payment forever for campus parking?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's exactly what I do with my parking pass. It's called a parking permit. You could buy one for the semester, but the cheapest per day is an annual permit. So again, look at your timetable, know the best, what's best for you, and you can buy one for just the spring term. And in the lot that I'm in, I'm sort of in the mid lot. I think it's around $130 for the term, and you come and go as you please throughout the day here on the Ottawa campus. The one that I personally buy is the annual permit because I know I'm going to be around on campus 11, 12 months of the year. So that works best for me. But the best thing you can do is you can go onto our parking website, and we have something called the Parking Options Selector. It'll ask you a few questions. How many days a week you're on campus? Are you in the days or the evenings? And it will give you a recommendation based on what is the most cost effective for you.
Okay, thank you, David. And just tying into that question about parking, is there a physical pass that you need to keep on your dashboard or in your window, or how does the actual pass work?
Yeah, great question again. So when you're purchasing your parking options, you register your car with us. So we need to know the make and the model of your car. So, like a Ford Mustang, I suppose. And then you would you'd put in your license plate as well. And so we keep that recorded, and then you come and go with your car in the correct lots. But the nice thing is, if you have multiple cars in your household, sometimes you take mom's car or dad's car or your spouse's car, you can add multiple different cars to your permit with no additional cost, as long as only one of them is on campus at a time. And that makes coming and going easy. So a long way to say there's no physical permit for your dashboard. It's all recorded based on online, your parking account, register your cars, and you'll be good to park on campus.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, David. So David, another one for you. We got a lot of questions about cards and ID cards and student ID cards. So can you kind of just give an overview of how to get your student ID card and your UPass?
Yeah, so you can start with that today. You'd visit acphoto.algonquincollege.com and start following the prompts, which is uploading your photo. From there, our team will review the photo, make sure that it matches the requirements, which you will see on the application form. And then we will email you when your photo has been approved. So when you get that approved message, it will invite you to book an appointment to come and visit us in room E120 to pick up your cards. So once you're there, we will require a piece of government-issued photo ID. We'll print the cards for you, and you're on the way. So it's really important to keep watching your email inbox for these prompts and these updates. But that can be done today. Upload that photo, and that's the start of the process.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, David. So we're now going to go over to Kelsey for a question about program orientation. So Kelsey, can you just quickly talk to us about what program orientation is and why students should go to their program orientation?
Hi, Sam. I'm standing in for Kelsey. My name's Shannon. And program
Shannon.
orientation is a great opportunity to both meet your fellow students that will be starting with you in the program, as well as meet your faculty members, your professor, your program coordinators. And they'll go through kind of overview of some of the college services, but also more specifically details about how the program will run and some of the expectations around the program. So it's a really great opportunity to, like I said, connect with your fellow students and start connecting with your program more directly. And so you'll find, I'll put it in the chat, but you'll find the details around where your program orientation is going to take place on May 6th, as well as the exact times on the program orientation website. But also your program coordinator will likely reach out to you via your college email either this week or next week with some more details and a welcome letter and just some setting up some expectations of what to expect on May 6th.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Shannon. And lastly, let's go over to Shalina from Health Services. So Shalina, this is one about the health clinic on campus. So if a student is sick, say they have a cold or a stomach ache or a headache, and they just want to drop in to get someone to check them out, can they just stop at the health clinic and get checked out there?
So they can. There is the walk-in clinic. There are times where the walk-in clinic will be busier than other days. So depending on the time that you go, will kind of determine your wait time. I believe during like the spring, summer semester, the health clinic will be a little less busy compared to the fall or the winter. But there is the walk-in clinic, and it's will start at 9 o'clock is when they start taking in taking in patients.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Shalina. All right, everyone. So we're going to move on to our last couple of presentations here. So next up, we're going to go over to Elise and Kate from the Students Association.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. So my name is Kate, and I'm a marketing officer at the Students Association. So today I'm going to fill you in on all of the services that we have to offer. Next slide, please. At the Students Association, our mission is to create an environment that inspires a passion for student success. So we are here to help you with anything that you might need. Next slide. Here at the SA, we have an elected board of directors made up of full-time students that serve as your voice to the college administration. So the board of directors regularly connects with students on campus to learn all about their wants and needs during their time here at the college. Next slide, please. So on this page here, you will see your board of directors for 2023 and 2024. So this board is made up of 5 directors, the president being Abigail and our vice president, Nishant. Next slide, please. So your 2024-2025 board of directors has been nominated and will officially begin their term on May 1st, 2024. So stay tuned to meet your new board. Next slide. At the Students Association, we put on several events all throughout the year, from large-scale concerts to festivals and monthly bingo nights, and so much more. So please keep an eye on our social channels to stay up to date on all of our upcoming events. Next slide. So here we have the ARC. So the Jack Doyle Athletics and Recreation Center is our newest building on the Ottawa campus. This facility has so many great features, such as a rec and varsity gym, circuit and free weight training area, group fitness classes, accessible machinery, a rock climbing and bouldering wall, and a discovery track. In this building, you will also find the Wolves Den restaurant and games room that includes pool tables, golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling. So students who are fee-paying members of the Students Association will have full access to all ARC facilities. All you have to do is to make sure that you complete your one-time waiver and submit it, and then from there you're good. We also have varsity sports such as men and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball, and rugby. If you're interested in playing for any of these teams, you can find the coaches' information on our website and contact them directly to try out for the teams in September. Please check out our events calendar on our website for the exact dates and times. We also offer intramural sports, which are non-competitive sports that you can play against other students. We offer sports like ball hockey, indoor soccer, basketball, volleyball, and open badminton. Next slide, please. So here are some food options that we have on campus. So we have great food and drink services on the Ottawa campus. The Wolves Den, as I mentioned previously, is one of our restaurants that's located inside of the Arc. Aside from fresh house-made menu items and an awesome outdoor patio, the Wolves Den also features, as I mentioned before, a games room. So that's all connected under the in the X building. Once again, please don't forget to sign your waiver to use any of the ARC amenities, including the games room. So this is where, again, you can reserve pool tables, the golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling lanes. We also own and operate a Starbucks on campus, which is located in the Student Commons building. If you're looking for a sweet treat or a caffeine kick before or after class, this is the place to be. We have the observatory as well, which is located in A170, and this is your one-stop shop for delicious food, board games, fun events, and all of the vibes. So this is an excellent place to join your classmates for lunch between classes or attend a student event like pub trivia. All the Students Association food locations accept the student meal plan as well. Next slide, please. Get involved. So this is a great way to get involved on campus. One of those ways is to become a class representative. So class reps are students from each program who bring academic concerns forward to our board of directors. They elevate this elevates your student experience. You can join clubs and communities as well to elevate your experience. So this is a place where all students are welcome to find your passion or bring one to life right here on campus. You can stop by the club space upstairs, just in the Student Commons building, to hang out with friends, make new ones, play some games, and much more. Next slide. So the SA offers many different services. So one of them being the food cupboard. So this is a discreet and confidential support service that provides students who are experiencing financial difficulty with food and other basic necessities. We oversee the student meal plan as well. So for all full-time domestic students, this plan covers dental, prescription, vision, and mental health support, and much more. So plan details for this can be found online at algonquinsa.com. We also provide funding to students who are looking to host graduation parties or to bring in guest speakers for their program. In addition to all this, we also have a number of different meeting and silent study rooms on campus that you can reserve if you want a quiet space. Next slide. The Algonquin Commons Theatre. So the Algonquin Commons Theatre is our 800-person theatre located on the Ottawa campus. The theater hosts many different types of shows all throughout the year, from musicals, comedians, concerts, and even dance shows. Some past acts include Kip Moore, Letterkenny, Nelly, and much more. Next slide. So we also have a Pembroke campus. So the Pembroke campus has a fitness zone and a 2-story rock climbing wall, a gymnasium that offers the same intramural sports as Ottawa. On the Pembroke campus, you will find the Landing, which is our licensed lounge on campus, and it is also used as an event space. Next slide. And we have a campus on Perth as well. So Perth has a fitness center with similar services offered at the Ottawa campus. Next slide. All right, so if you're interested in joining our team, this is where you would find all of our job listings. So you can go to algonquinsa.com/our-team. The Students Association will be hiring. We offer a great work environment with flexible hours that work around your schedules. So there are many opportunities to grow, and for some positions, you can even earn your placement hours while you work. Again, for more information, please visit our website, algonquinsa.com/join-our-team. Next slide. Stay connected with us and make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to get the fastest information about Algonquin SA events, updates, job opportunities, and much more. Next slide. And if you are on the Perth or Pembroke campus, please be sure to follow their specific accounts for their campuses as well. And that's it for us. Thank you so much for your time and best of luck for the school year.
That was great, Kate. Thank you very much. All right, everyone, we are now going over to our very last presentation, and then we're going to open up the floor for some last questions before we wrap up. So thank you all very much for being here and for your patience throughout this presentation today. So let's hand it over to our last college expert, Stephen from Experiential Learning and Innovation.
Good morning, folks. My name is Stephen Gagne, and I am the Entrepreneurship Officer here at the college. Like many of you, I'm also a proud Algonquin College grad. So Experiential Learning and Innovation is a large department that covers many, many things, but I'm going to talk about 3 of the more relevant ones to you in this particular situation. So if we can go to the first slide, please. Many of you will be enrolled in a co-op program, which will give you an opportunity to work out in your field while earning academic credit. So all of the co-op opportunities do count for academic credit. You do get a pass-fail grade for them. But the best part about them is that co-op opportunities are paid. These are full-time paid positions, and typically you're paid anywhere from minimum wage up to $18 an hour or more to gain experience in your field. These programs are related to your field of study. And depending on how your program flow works, for the most part, they'll be done in between different semesters or in between different years. Some of you may have more than one co-op position, and all of this information should be discussed in your program orientation. And if not, you will have an opportunity to reach out to the co-op office, and I will throw their email in the chat a little bit later. Next slide, please. I've answered a couple of questions already about where you can find work, and the SA does have a number of jobs, but you'll also find even more on one of the portals run by the other half of our Co-op and Career Center, the Career Part. So Hire AC, and I will throw a link for this when I'm done as well in the chat, is a place where you can find a number of jobs. Your co-op positions will be there, but also you'll periodically see some paid jobs both in and off campus being posted there. If you are looking for work, whether as a student or as a soon-to-be or recent grad, when you do hopefully get there, you will have a number of services made available to you through the Career Center, whether that is reviewing your resume, reviewing your LinkedIn profile, helping you find job strategies. If you are looking to interview for a job, you can do things like mock interviews, for example. This team also is constantly looking at the market. It's kind of divided in half between people who advise students and people who are talking to employers. So they can help guide you on maybe some of the trends that are appearing in that position. And also we run a number of workshops. Throughout the semester, you'll see a good 5, 6, or 7 workshops, even over the summer, possibly more coming in the fall, and a variety of work and work integrated topics. Next slide, please. If you're not in a co-op program, or maybe you want to be your own boss, we also have a number of other opportunities through this office. Applied research, for example. In many of your programs, I'm seeing a lot of IMD and a lot of engineering programs. You may do an in-class project where, as part of this, you'll work with a client to develop a prototype or something to get onto the market. We also have some larger standalone projects in a number of centers, and you'll hear more about these a little bit later in the term. But these are in fields of research like victimology, construction, computer science, social innovation. We have a number of labs dedicated to advancing projects. If you want to be your own boss, then you come see me in the Entrepreneurship Center. I will help guide you through the process of setting up your own business. If you are really serious about this and have a co-op opportunity, you can even do what's called entrepreneurship co-op, where you would work with a mentor through our center to build your own business over a co-op term. We have a makerspace on campus, and when you do come visit, I hope you come see our makerspace. That is a room full of some of the most interesting things here on campus that you have access to: 3D printers, laser cutters, VR, all kinds of tools. At the end of every term, we run something called Reaction Showcase, which is kind of the biggest reverse job fair in this city. Students are showing the best of their work to potential employers. There are some prizes involved. It is a phenomenal networking opportunity. And I do encourage you to come see one of these, even if you are not presenting. Also through the Makerspace and the Entrepreneurship Center, we run a number of workshops if you just want to test the water. Those could be on things like building a side hustle or building an e-commerce platform. And we'll help you in the span of an hour get from, I think I have an idea, to let's get something real out there. We also give access to some software and training. Some tools are a little harder to use, and we'll happily walk you through the process of doing that. You see a couple of questions that I'll get to now since I still have a minute or two. So co-op position is typically 1 term in length, so typically 15 weeks in length, although some programs do have more than 1 co-op. You may have 2, 3, in some cases, co-op terms. Many programs only have 1. So a placement or an opportunity is typically 1 term in length, but sometimes they can be a little longer. And you can look for your co-op in what is called your job search term. Depending on how your program is structured, that would either be your 3rd term or a term coming after that. So you will hear more about co-op in your program orientation and how it applies specifically to your program if you have opted in or are in a co-op mandatory program. I believe that is it for me.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. So folks, that takes us to the end of all of our formal presentations from the college experts here, but we did want to go back and answer a couple of questions before we wrap up. So I have a few for the essay. So Kate, if you wouldn't mind answering a couple of these.
Yeah, of course.
So this one is about student reps. How can I become a student rep if I would like to be one?
Yeah, so all the information to become a student rep will be on our website. So you can visit algonquinsa.com. And I believe it would be under student life and then class representatives. Once you get to that page, you'll be able to see all the class rep training, the schedules for all the meetings and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, you can just visit the page and it'll give you all the info you need.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Kate. I've got a couple more questions for you, Kate, if you don't mind. So this one is about a pool league. Is there a pool league?
So that I'm not quite sure. I do know that we have a ton of different clubs though. So if there's not, if there isn't anything that you can find that you're interested in, you can create your own club as well. So I would suggest going to our website again and going under student life and clubs and communities. From there, you'll be able to access the portal and then you can see all the different clubs that are currently running. We have over 100 active clubs currently. So if you find a club that you're interested in, you can join straight from the portal. And then again, if you would like to make your own club, you're welcome to do so as well.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Kate. Regarding pool, folks, there are some pool tables in the Wolves Den. So if you did want to play pool, there are pool tables. So Kate, another one for you. How can I register to do sports just for fun?
Yeah, so for intramural sports, again, you can go onto the SA website, go under the athletics tab and then click intramurals. From there, you'll have all the information on how to join a team. So I believe for the spring term, we will have information on that coming soon. So from there, you'll be able to sign up a team and with all of your friends if you have a team, or you can join as an individual, and then you'll get put into a team from there. If you have any questions directly that you can't find answers to on our website, there is a contact all the way at the bottom of the page there to Steph. So you can reach out to Steph and she'll be able to help you with any questions that you have.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Kate. And
No
I've got
problem.
one last question for you.
Sure.
So if a family member is interested in using the ARC, can they do so?
Yep. So if you're interested in using the ARC, I believe that they are giving away day passes for that. So I would recommend, again, going to the website, going under athletics and the Jack Doyle Recreation Center. If you click that tab, it'll have all the hours of operation and a contact. So you can call the welcome desk and ask for the rates. But as I see here on the website, it says that effective as of Monday, April 29th, there will be some changes to the day pass and guest pass. So if you contact the front desk, they'll be able to give you all the information on that. But yes, you are eligible to use the gym if you are a guest at a specific rate.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for answering those, Kate.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, folks, so I'm just taking a look here at the Q&A. And Stephen, I have one more for you if you don't mind before we wrap up here.
Sure.
So it's about co-op. So which semester can I start my co-op and what are the requirements? Oh, sorry, Stephen, I think you're muted there. Or your sound is not.
Is that better?
Yes.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so that will change from program to program. It really depends on the structure of your program. They will go over that in program orientation. Typically, if you are in a standard 2-year, 4-term program, your co-op would be after your 3rd term. But not knowing what program you're in, that's kind of a hard one to answer. They will go over that though as part of orientation, and you will hear it again from your co-op student advisor during your co-op prep course.
Okay, great. So just to reiterate, it is pretty program specific, but you will learn more about that in your program orientation.
Absolutely. You will get
Okay.
sick of hearing about co-op by the time you get through your first term.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Stephen. All right, folks. So I think we've answered most of our questions here. So before we wrap up, everyone, I just wanted to say thank you to all of our college experts for sharing all of their knowledge, and to you folks for attending today. I know that was a ton of information. It can be very overwhelming, but we have an amazing team of people here to support you and help you as you begin your journey at Algonquin. So please reach out. We have so many supports and so many resources available to you, and we are happy to help you. And again, this was recorded today and will be posted on the AC Hub on-demand webpage in the coming days. So if you would like to go back and rewatch it to gain any more information, or just to rewatch it for the sake of that, it will be posted on the webpage in the coming days, and we'll share a link to that in the chat now. And folks, I just wanted to go over a couple of things here before we wrap up. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure to register for AC Day 1, which is the first day of the spring semester, coming up on Monday, May 6th. And on that day, everyone, that is when your program orientation will be taking place. So please look out for an email from your program coordinator about those details. And then we encourage you to attend all of the social and learning activities that are taking place throughout the day on AC Day 1 as well. So make sure to go to your program orientation first, and then you can definitely participate in all the other activities happening on campus on AC Day 1. And finally, before we wrap up, please don't forget to visit algonquinccollege.com/orientation to complete your online prep before the first day of the semester. All right, everyone. So again, thank you very, very much for joining us today. And we are so very excited to welcome you to Algonquin College for the spring 2024 semester. Thank you, everyone, and take care. Bye.